She mopped floors in silence, ignored, invisible, underestimated. No one knew the truth. She was not a cleaner. She was a billionaire's mother, and she was on a mission. Her name was Margaret Sinclair, and no one in the massive Sinclair Tech Tower knew who she really was. They saw an older woman with tired eyes and plain shoes, pushing a mop bucket across the marble floors. Her uniform was baggy. Her voice was soft. She blended into the background so perfectly, most employees never looked her in the eye. That was exactly what she wanted. Because Margaret was not just another janitor. She was the mother of Ethan Sinclair, the billionaire CEO of the company. And she was not here to clean floors. She was here to watch, to listen, and to find the one woman her son would never see coming, the one who could love him for who he was, not what he owned. Margaret had watched Ethan lose himself to power. His smile had vanished. His world was polished steel and lonely boardrooms. Women chased his wealth, not his heart. His last engagement had ended with a scandal and silence. So Margaret made a bold decision. If Ethan would not let love into his life, then she would find it for him. But not through matchmaking or media, no. She wanted to see with her own eyes how women acted when they thought no one important was watching. So she created a fake cleaning service through a private agency and got herself placed inside her son's company, working evenings just before the night shift. That was when she met Lena. Lena was a receptionist, barely 23, working double shifts to help her sick grandmother. Most nights, Lena stayed late to clean the front desk herself, just so the real janitorial team would have less to do. She folded papers, watered plants, wiped down fingerprints. Margaret watched from the corner. No one had asked her to do it. No one paid her more. In fact, most people barely said thank you. One night, a tray of coffee spilled near the elevators. A group of junior executives groaned and walked away. Lena, without hesitation, dropped to her knees and started helping the cleaner mop it up, quietly, carefully. "Here," she whispered to Margaret, "let me help. You've been on your feet all night." Margaret blinked. No one had ever spoken to her like that in the building. Not kindly, not gently, not once. She watched Lena, not her clothes, not her resume, her heart. This girl was different. But Margaret knew better than to rush. People wore masks. They pretended when they knew power was watching. So, the billionaire's mother continued to mop quietly and waited for the moment that would show her who Lena truly was. Because soon, Ethan Sinclair would meet Lena. And when he did, the truth would collide with everything they both thought they knew. The next week, Ethan Sinclair entered the building earlier than usual. Board meetings, investor calls, another acquisition. His life moved in high-stakes circles where trust was currency and love felt like a liability. His sister Cole, who was working with the marketing team on a new project, met him in the elevator. Margaret stood silently by the service elevator, watching her son pass. Even in his tailored suit, he looked tired, alone, as if the luxury around him no longer touched him. She sighed. He had no idea his mother was even in the building. He had not spoken to her in weeks, too busy, too guarded. But that was fine. She was not here for attention. She was here for Lena. And today, Margaret saw something she had not expected. Ethan and Lena crossing paths. It was accidental. Lena was walking out of the break room, balancing a tray of leftover pastries meant for the night staff. Ethan turned the corner, head in his tablet, and bumped her shoulder. The tray wobbled. One plate dropped, shattering on the floor. Lena gasped, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Ethan glanced up annoyed. "Watch where you're going." Then he paused. His eyes caught hers. Something in her expression, real embarrassment, not fear, made him take a step back. I should have looked up. That was on me." She bent down quickly to pick up the shards. "I'll clean it up, don't worry." But before she could reach for the largest piece, a hand stopped hers. The cleaning lady, Margaret. She said, "You should not cut yourself." Ethan looked at the older woman and frowned. "It's fine, my assistant will handle the rest." But Lena shook her head. "No, it was my fault. I want to fix it." She stayed. She cleaned, not out of duty, but grace. Ethan lingered for a moment, then walked away, silently shaken. Later that night, Margaret approached Lena near the lobby. "You did not have to stay and clean that," she said quietly. Lena smiled. "Maybe not, but someone once told me real character shows when no one's watching." Margaret's heart caught in her throat. She wanted to believe this girl was real, that this kindness, this humility, it wasn't an act. But she needed to be sure, because there was something Margaret had not yet revealed. Not even Lena knew that her every action was being noticed by someone who could change her life forever. And the moment of truth was coming sooner than either of them expected, because Ethan Sinclair had just asked HR for the receptionist's full file. Lena had no idea her life was being watched. She thought she was just a receptionist in a glass tower filled with people too busy to care. But every quiet act of kindness, every late-night chore she took on without recognition, was being recorded, not by a camera, but by the eyes of a woman who swept hallways while hiding a billion-dollar truth. And now, someone else was watching too. Ethan Sinclair. He could not stop thinking about her. It made no sense. He met thousands of employees a year, shook hands with investors, sat in front of glamorous women at galas. But this girl in second-hand heels who apologized for a broken plate, she had stayed in his mind. He told himself it was nothing, that it was curiosity. Still, he asked for her personnel file. That night, Margaret noticed the shift. Her son came down to the front desk, something he never did. He asked Lena simple questions, casual at first. "How long have you worked here? What brought you to Sinclair Tech?" Lena smiled, polite but cautious. "Just over a year. My grandmother's medical bills brought me here." She said it like it was normal, like carrying the weight of 2 lives was nothing special. Ethan nodded. "Most people here do not clean the reception counter at 9 p.m. I just like leaving a place better than I found it." He left soon after, but Margaret, hiding nearby with her mop in hand, saw everything. The spark in his eyes, the way Lena walked away unfazed by his wealth, how Ethan lingered, confused, like something in him had cracked open. But then came the complication. The next evening, a tall woman with icy lipstick and diamond heels stormed into the lobby. Her name was Sienna Rowe, a socialite Ethan had been forced to date on and off for months. Their families mingled in elite circles, and Sienna had money, looks, and connections. But what she lacked was kindness. She spotted Lena behind the desk and sneered. "You must be the receptionist. Cute shoes, are those thrift store?" Lena stiffened, but stayed quiet. Sienna leaned closer. "Just so you know, Ethan and I have history, real history. People like you don't last here." Margaret, just a few feet away, gripped her mop tighter. Sienna turned, smug. "Oh, the janitor. Make sure you polish that floor. I might scuff it with my heels." Then she swept up the stairs like a queen. Margaret stood frozen. Now it was clear, if Ethan was going to see Lena's heart, he would need to see it tested. Because in the world of billionaires, grace meant nothing until it had been challenged. And the next test was coming faster than any of them knew. Because Margaret had just made a decision of her own. She was going to invite Lena to the private gala, the one where secrets were never safe. The invitation arrived in a plain envelope. No logo, no instructions, just a time, a place, and one elegant sentence. "Please join us for an evening of celebration and recognition." Lena was confused. She had never received anything like this before. The return address said it was from Sinclair Holdings, but she was a receptionist, not an executive. Still, something told her to go. She borrowed a dress, repaired an old pair of heels, took the bus across town, and arrived at the Sinclair Winter Gala held inside a private estate so large it felt like a palace. When she stepped inside, heads turned, not because she was glamorous, but because she did not belong, at least not in their eyes. Margaret saw it all from the balcony above, wearing a deep emerald gown. Her mop was gone, her disguise was over. The billionaire's mother had reclaimed her place, and now she was about to reveal why she had hidden at all. Downstairs, Sienna noticed Lena immediately. She stormed toward her. "What are you doing here? This event is for family, for legacy, for people who actually mean something." Lena stood quietly. "I was invited." Sienna laughed, turning to nearby guests. "You hear that? The receptionist girl thinks she's one of us now." Then Ethan entered. The room fell to a hush. He spotted Lena. Confusion flickered across his face, but he walked straight toward her, past every designer gown and diamond stare. "You came," he said softly. Before Lena could answer, a voice echoed through the hall. "May I have your attention, please?" Everyone turned. At the top of the stairs stood Margaret. No uniform, no mop, only the power of someone who had seen the truth and was now ready to speak it. "I am Margaret Sinclair, and yes, I am Ethan's mother. But more than that, I have been your cleaner for the past 8 weeks." Whispers exploded. "I traded gowns for gloves because I wanted to see who this world really was when no one was watching. And what I found was not in your titles, but in the quiet kindness of one young woman." She looked directly at Lena. "This woman did not know who I was. She helped me without cameras, without praise. While others laughed or walked away, she stayed, she gave, she saw me." Gasps, silence. Then Ethan stepped back stunned. "You're the cleaner," he whispered to his mother. She nodded. "And that girl is the one person in this room who never tried to impress you. She just treated everyone with dignity." Ethan turned to Lena. Her eyes were wide, tears at the edge. He offered his hand, not as a CEO, not as a billionaire, as a man finally seeing her. "I hope this is not too late, because I think I just saw what I have been blind to for years." Lena slowly reached for his hand. From the balcony, Margaret smiled, because her mission was complete. She had found a woman not chasing a name, but living by her own. And that night, as the gala carried on, the richest woman in the room was not the one in diamonds. It was the girl who had once wiped down desks after everyone had left, and who now had been truly seen.